welcome back to a new video. Today we're in the studio and we're doing something so mischievous. We're getting crazy up in the studio today. Oh my god. Whenever I am like, oh yeah, I'm up in the studio, it reminds me of that like YouTube clip. I have no idea where it's from. Maybe like America's Got Talent or something in like 2010 that was like up in my studio.
I'll be in my studio.
You know that one? That's what I think of. Okay, anyways, we are in the studio today. Everybody shut up. Can't you see I'm literally filming a YouTube video?
Christ on a bike.
Whenever I go thrifting, I always keep my eye out for vintage sewing patterns. And I've collected quite a few over my years, and guess what? I've never used them. So we're putting an end to that today. We're doing a full sewing video, which sewing has been something I've been wanting to get back into in 2025, since that's kind of what I started my TikTok all about, was like doing thrift flips. So I want to do a classic sewing video and literally sew something from scratch. I don't think I've ever sewn something from scratch. I think I always fall short. I always cut corners. Definitely the undiagnosed ADHD in me. But yeah, this will be not only an artistic challenge, but also a mental challenge because I have a hard time following directions. So buckling up, put that Prindle in go, and we're in for a ride, okay? So the game plan is to pick out one of my vintage sewing patterns I've collected. We're gonna go through them together. Then we're training up from Dumbo all the way to the Garment District to Mood Fabrics, which is what they use on Project Runway, and then come back here and begin sewing. So I already wanna blow my brains out just simply doing the there and back. And we're gonna sew a full garment from start to finish. Woo! Can't wait for this video, guys. I can't wait. I'm having so much fun. Okay, let's get started and look at my vintage sewing patterns. Okay. This wooden chest is sewing machines, sewing supplies, sewing patterns that I often don't indulge in, but obviously what we're going to be doing today. It's actually a really cool chest. I'm going to show you on this side. I think I have patterns in random crevices throughout this whole studio, but isn't that cool? It opens up like that, has like this little top shelf. My sewing machine, Nikki's sewing machine, sewing supplies, printer. Okay, so these were two patterns I found thus far. This one's cute. I'm not loving the length. I know I could make it shorter, but this one is really fun. I actually, my qualm with this pattern is the boob region. Like, I don't know how that's, am I gonna look like a tent? That's my question. But I do really like these dresses. I think they're so 60s, so cool, but will I look weird? I don't know. That one, this one, lots of vintage lace. There's some over here. Organized disaster, lady and gents. Okay, fun. What is this one? A fun little jacket shirt moment. Oh my god, I knew it. The mother load. Let's go through these. Ooh, wait, that one's so cute. I think that could be pretty easy too. Pant and skirt, not really into that. Talk about complicated. Not doing that today. Okay, maybe. And then, ooh, okay, cute. Wait, I could be into that. This is the easiest with this. This is a line fitted top. Has upper front variations, lined upper bodice, and back zipper closure. I think I just need to open up this pattern to really understand because the back is confusing to me. So we have top A, top B, and top C, which is shown on this graphic. And I think I want to make top C. The pattern, I guess, is slightly different. So that would be this one on the back. I'm just still trying to understand my sizing, but I do believe I am a size 12 in these vintage styling patterns. So let's unbox and see what we're working with. Oh my god, cute! Oh my god, I love it. Okay. Lots and lots of directions. Oh, this is like a step-by-step. Oh my god, I gotta get interfacing. I don't want to get interfacing. I don't need to look at this yet. Do I? I don't know. I just should open this up. So I'm thinking I might need to like steam these because these seem like really decrepitly delicate. Ooh! This is giving like those papers you put over the seat of a public toilet. That's how fragile and weird. I gotta cut these out. What a joke. What is going on? One delicate lady. This is a Vogue pattern. Okay, purr. Look at how delicate she is. Okay. What? Guys, I'm confused. Cut here for C. I'm gonna freak out. What can I do first? I can steam it. I think I can steam it and not lose my mind, okay? Great news, I'm starting to figure it out. This page here, we have this section that says top C, which that is the top I want. It tells me I need to use pieces 2, 5, 6, and 8. So that's why there's so many pieces on here, and this is how I determine which ones I'm gonna be cutting out and using. So I'm gonna start by cutting out pieces 2, 5, 6, and 8. I can totally do that. First pattern piece, 6. Let's hear it for 6. Let's hear it for 5. 2. Are we sure? 2, 5, 6, 8. 8. So we have our pieces. Thinking about doing something despicable, so despicable, but in this life, if I had to give you one lesson, it's to work smarter, not harder. So I'm actually gonna take a picture of this and put it into ChatGPT and have Bestie tell me what items I need to make this godforsaken top. I can't read it, I just can't. This will be absolutely so goated if he can do this. Can't read images, what a loser. Useless, stop talking. Back to reading. I do believe this means I need 45 inches of fabric, but I will in fact be phoning a friend. By friend I mean my mother. I'm sewing something from scratch for a video. Does this right here mean that I need 45 inches of fabric for this whole thing?
Where's the back of the pattern? It's the pattern itself. Okay, it should be right in there. Top C.
Oh, this is it?
Right, it will
so
for
top
whatever
C,
size you want to make.
Yeah, I'm a vintage size 12. So top C, if I want to do a size 12, I need 1 3/8 yard or 1 yard if it's 60 inches. I should just...
Most likely you won't find 60-inch width fabric for something that you're shopping for clothing. Usually the 60-inch width fabric, I mean sometimes. Usually it's more like things like fleece or drapery fabric.
So I should probably just do 1.5 yards to be safe.
Yeah, sure.
I'm getting 1.5 yards of fabric, and then how do I know how big of a zipper to get?
It should say somewhere notions.
Notion. Oh, notion. 7-inch zipper. Okay,
You should be recording this.
I am. It's a 7-inch zipper, hook and eye, 1.5 yards of 5/8 ribbon.
And then they give you some suggestions of fabric.
Oh, charmeuse.
Chartreuse.
No, it says charmeuse.
Okay, never heard of that.
Bruh. I think we're ready to make some moves. First move being that I need to be fed or else this certainly will never get done. So I'm gonna train straight up to Joe and the Juice, right off Bryant Park, grab a little snack, and then head over to Mood, gather my materials, and we'll meet back here, which will be an adventure. Let's get it going. Other trucker, don't go in there if you have decision-making problems. That was not a good time for me. It could have been a good time if I went with someone who knew like maybe 2 things about fabric, but hot, sweaty, we're stimulating. People knew what they were doing, I didn't, but we did it, okay? So, see you back at the studio. It may be 4 o'clock, but we finally got our materials. Okay, we got our zipper, which was like $1 or something. It's actually 9 inches, but I'm gonna have to cut it to 7. We got our lining, which 1.5 yards was $4. Ribbon, and then grand reveal of the fabric that I chose. I'm not even like proud of it anymore. It is what it is. This is the decision-making problem I had. Too many fabrics to choose from what do you want me to do? I just had to pick one and leave. I was sweating. This is what we went with. It is a viscose fabric. It is floral, you can see. The chiffon was just too thin. It would have been hard to sew. If you look really close, I feel like there's almost like a vintagey aspect to this fabric. It's gonna be good and fine. Starting this at 4 p.m., having ate a sandwich and a yogurt today, expect 1 to 3 temper tantrums. It's telling me a certain way to lay out the items to like cut it so I have the least amount of waste. It's extremely confusing to me, and I just feel like if I can cut it out, I should just cut it out. Looking back, this is so much fabric in correlation to how much these pattern pieces actually take up that I'm wondering if the 1.5 yards was actually if you wanted to make all 3 tops. Either way, lots of leftover fabric, didn't need to get that much. My camera died there for a little bit, and I'm turning the overhead light on just for you. Oh, God, that's horrible. Oh, I feel like I need sunglasses. Update. This is not going that well yet. So, I have cut out number 8 piece. I figured out you're supposed to cut them on the fold, so I have 3 of these. Just finished cutting out 2, so I still have to cut pieces 6 and 5 down there. I was making my pattern precise there, which was very tedious. I figured out I was leading myself a little bit astray with this pattern here because as you can see, these shading things mean something different. I kept referring to this shading key down here and I was getting very confused. But no. We must open it up. This shading key correlates with this, not this one. Very confusing considering the wrong side of the pattern is clear on this one. The right side of the pattern is clear on this one. They were asking me to F shit up. I finished doing 8, I just did 2, so I still have 5 and 6 left. I have plenty of fabric left, so I'm not too worried about lining it up super perfectly. What I've realized thus far is that cutting is arguably the most important part of this whole ordeal here, because if I really screw this up, no matter how great I sew it, it's just not going to be good. So I'm really trying to take my time and being extremely precise, and it is still hard. Like, there's a lot of room for human error, is what it is, I guess, but I'm doing my best. I've just been cutting. I just didn't think that was like that interesting for you to see, but I guess you can watch a little time lapse if you want. But I think the next exciting thing is probably going to be putting the cutout pieces together, like a fabric puzzle. Anyways, back to work. I've only had one phone a friend to my mom since pattern cutting, so could be worse. Okay, actually here is where I can start asking for your advice because I was pinning the pattern pieces onto the fabric. The way that my pins are, pattern piece was kind of lifted off the surface, so I felt like the pattern wasn't lying super flat and my cutting wasn't super accurate. So how do people like get the precision here? Like, is there something I'm missing or a better technique I could be using? It's been a long day, 7 p.m. All I did was cut out the fabric and the lining. I'm hungry and I want to go to bed, but I will see you here tomorrow. Hello guys, it's a new day. Yeah, I only allotted for yesterday to literally make a whole entire shirt, so I'm crazy. Obviously have time management issues. It's a new day and I've not given up yet. I'm very, very proud of myself for giving myself another day to do this, because as somebody with ADHD and time management, I would rather rush something really quick and get it over with and like have a box to check off my to-do list than to actually do something thoughtfully. So I'm really forcing myself to be extremely thoughtful and careful with this process. So today is all about assembly and putting it together. I have no idea how long that is supposed to take me. That is something we're gonna find out together. Currently 12:12. I also have a lot of tagging to do today, so I'm hoping this doesn't take 7 hours. I don't even know where to begin now. I guess I have to like really start reading the directions again. Here are all of my cutout pieces. Pins, me, and these godforsaken directions. Okay, my mom helped me. I have the update. So I don't have interfacing. She said no big deal, we can proceed normally. First step, we are actually doing the lining secondarily, so I'm just gonna move that to the side. We are starting with pieces 5 and 6. Starting on number 12, which is pin lower edge of upper front 5 to upper edge of lower front 6. Stitching forming upper front. Whoa! I'm gonna pin it first before we do any stitching. This looks like it would be 6 laid like this. This looks like 5, then that means 5. It's hard. I need to concentrate so hard on pinning this. I'm gonna pin it and I will meet you at the sewing machine, okay? You're due for an update. So these two pinned pieces right here are this 5 and 6 part pinned together. It's eventually gonna look like that. This back piece are these. But I can only sew these onto these once I've sewed along these edges. Then, once this and this are put together, it will start looking like this and this. They kind of look like little wine bottles. And then this part down here is this flowy part of the shirt. I have that laid out down here. So it's pinned on this side, pinned on that side, and then it's halfway pinned up this middle part here, which this is where the zipper is going to be going. My next step is to literally just start sewing what I have pinned. Sewing these two pieces. I'm gonna go super slow. Super, super slow. This might be a little too slow. What even stitch am I on? I guess I should have looked that up, huh? Okay, let's reveal. What does it look like? Guys, I think that might be okay. Like, pop her out, and that's so giving boob. So giving boob! I don't know, actually. That is what I just sewed, and that big one there, that is my little basting stitch. This seems like a lot of seam allowance. I feel like I perhaps did too much, but don't know what I can do about that. Like, I think I did my best. Okay, bye-bye basting stitch. Okay, I'm getting a little cocky. Okay, here's the second one. Okay. I guess it looks the same, not that exciting. Now after sewing the top, I'm sewing the number 8 pieces, those 3 long panels all together, arguably the most boring, straightforward part. After I had that sewn together, I went back and I was assembling those top boob pieces 5 and 6 to those side pieces too, like I showed you before, so they kind of made that wine bottle shape. Then after I pinned both sides of that, took it to the sewing machine and sewed it all together. Okay, spirits are good thus far, guys. We have 2 boobs. This boob moment, same thing on the other side. Amazing, 2 boobs in business. Okay, this is where I need to figure out what I'm doing next. 14 says, for neckties, using guide for ties 7, cut 2 pieces of 5/8 inch wide ribbon. Transfer all markings. Okay, 2 pieces 5/8 inches wide ribbon. Found my guide for cutting the ribbon. It's literally hanging on by one little thread here. I didn't know it was still part of the pattern because that was not in the initial set of pieces we needed to cut out. I do think my ribbon is a little bit too thick. Boob around my neck. Okay, fine. That makes sense. On outside, pin neckties to upper edge of front between small circles. So this is where I'm confused. Why would I pin this to the outside of the garment? Okay, fine, I'll listen. I said take your time, what's the rush? Ooh, a dog, I'm a mud. Okay, this is what we're looking like. 1, 2. Putting this aside, and now we're sewing this exact same situation with the lining. So, sounds so much fun. I think the lining is stupid and I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it because I want to say I did it right. But just know that I'm gonna hate it. I have the top boob part on here and I have the lining. Now it wants me to combine lining with my front piece.
I want you to take the lining, flip it up towards the top of the strap. Lay it down flat.
Oh! And then I sew the rest of the garment.
That's what they're trying to do.
Oh, I'm gonna blow my brains out. I hate this. Why is this like a geometry puzzle? Yeah, I'm gonna do this real quick and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Okay. So I was very confused about this ribbon because I was like, if I'm sewing around the whole perimeter of this shape, the ribbon is gonna get trapped upside down. But no, that is not what we do. We're gonna sew the top here to here, and then when we're done, flip it inside out, and would you look at that? It is perfectly wedged between both layers, and we've done it, and we're a genius. I'm really excited. Thank God for my mother. And now I can breathe. Okay, I'm gonna sew this. Oh my God, it worked! It worked! Look at how how cool and perfect that is. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that seam. Oh my god. Check in. I have a lot of threads on me, but I think spirits are still high and I think I'm doing good. This is the full bottom part of the tank top that's going to be the ruched flowy thing. It is like a lot of fabric. We're gonna see how this, like I think my next step is to sew along one of the seams, pull the string so it will kind of gather. This opening supposedly is for the zipper. Really proud of my top thus far. The bottom is a little frayed, but it's because she's getting sewn into something. Like I've got the ribbons. It is fully lined. Like I have like a full on seam and it like looks pretty legit. Are we seeing that? And ignore that little fray, but like honestly, pretty impressed. Like sneak peek alert. Oh my god. This is like kind of a lot of boob out. Maybe I need to like sew that middle together more. That's seeming like a lot of boob. You know it's bad when it's overhead light time. You haven't seen me in a minute because I've been taking so much time to gather all of the ruffling, this like bottom piece, this part. So what we did was we sewed one long string across the entire length of that fabric strip, and then I just held the string and like pushed it all down to gather it into this business here. Now that I've gathered it, I just have to like literally hand stitch, baste it down so it kind of all stays together. Then instead of doing like a right sides together so there's like a clean seam, it's like sewn on top of it, kind of letting the raw edge show underneath the top like cup parts. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. This fabric isn't really that conducive for a raw edge because it's very frayy. Maybe you should have been at this angle like way earlier. You see how it's like kind of looking like a shirt, like it's looking pretty cool. So that means this is the back here. This is just supposed to be pinned over then. Okay, I didn't clearly inform you on what I was doing, but I essentially pinned the ruched bottom part to the top, and then I did a basting stitch just to hold it together before I actually took it over to the sewing machine and did one final stitch through. We're so close to the end. I do have a final sewing and a zipper and a hook and eye closure between me and the finish line. But I do want to show you this because this is looking like a top, guys. Basted, which as we've learned means hand stitched in place, like instead of using pins. Back here is where we're gonna need to do like zipper, hook and eye closure type thing. Slightly nervous. It's like kind of looking a little bit maybe too big in the boob area, but we're so close. Don't want to get too excited yet, but just know I'm excited, okay? This final stitch around the circumference of the shirt was actually way harder than it's even looking. Like it got snagged so many times. Those ruffles were so hard to sew over. And then I just hand stitched the zipper because I don't have a zipper foot and I didn't want to deal with breaking another needle. And I was also simultaneously telling you a story time about the French waiter from my TikTok a couple years ago, but then my camera died, so you never got to hear the end of the story. This is it, guys. It's try on time. This is a one and done type of deal, baby. I'm trying on. It's either gonna fit or it's not. I am not going back to the drawing board. It is bedtime. My eyes are rotting out of my head. Here's your look. Got a zipper in the back. It's not the prettiest zipper you've ever seen, but it's there. Excuse me one moment while I try on my brand new shirt. Hey. Oh my god, it fits perfect! Wait, it's ugly. It's ugly! Okay, it fits perfect, but it is ugly. Okay, so we have so much extra boobage room. Like, it's also giving, like, just made a cupcake and I put that thing in the pan to make it not stick to the pan. That's what this is giving. Just me making your cupcakes not stick to the pan. Yup, it's me with half the amount of boob needed. Stupid! Yeah, I'm wondering if this fabric was too bulk-tastic for the pattern at stake. And listen, this was my bad for picking this because I didn't want to pick a chiffon because the chiffon is like very delicate and I was afraid I was gonna have it rip, tear, and snag. I fear this is just not the correct fabric for the task at hand. I just simply don't have enough boob side action. I'm sad. Did I learn something? Yes. Am I happy? No. Whatever. You know, this will not be the last of this. I will come back and I will come back with a vengeance. We'll come back with a vision and a vengeance. That will be me. That was that, guys. I just spent 24 hours creating a top that's ugly and stupid. Hope you enjoy. That was this week's video, guys. I'm so glad we all stuck around to watch me create a stupid top. If anybody wants it, crazy, it's free. Comment below. You can come pick it up from the studio. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad, but it's just not good. Thank you for watching this week's video, guys. Make sure to drop a comment, any video requests you have. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. So I see you next Monday with a new video. Love you. Bye.